51 million votes and 9 awards made half the anime community want to riot. When Solo Leveling was announced as the Anime of the Year at the 2025 Crunchyroll Awards, the applause in the Tokyo venue was deafening, while the online reaction was venomous. It beat out critical successes like Frieren and cultural hits like Dandadan, sparking the biggest backlash in the award show's history. This event represented a broken system and a clash between casual hype and critical acclaim, with a secret factor that tipped the scales in an unexpected way. That night in Tokyo carried heavy expectations because 2024 had been an incredible year for anime. The contenders included the emotional journey of Frieren Beyond Journey's End, the chaotic brilliance of Dandadan, and the meticulous drama of the Apothecary Diaries. Any one of them would have been a safe and respected winner until the announcement started. Solo Leveling took Best Action, followed by Best Animation, making the pattern undeniable by the time they announced Anime of the Year. Sung Jin-woo conquered rather than just winning by taking 9 out of 13 nominations. This near clean sweep left fans of other series stunned, as social media immediately caught fire with millions of posts debating whether pure spectacle had finally killed storytelling. Understanding the rage requires examining the criticism, because the primary argument against Solo Leveling has always been about depth. Critics point to Sung Jin-woo as the ultimate power fantasy, where a character starts weak before becoming a god and never looking back. There is no complex moral dilemma or terrifying vulnerability after the first arc, as he simply arises. Frieren spent 28 episodes exploring the quiet grief of immortality and the beauty of human connection, while Apothecary Diaries thrived on intricate mysteries and Mao Mao's sharp wit. Critics argued that awarding Solo Leveling told the industry that flashy fights matter more than writing. They called it junk food anime that was delicious and addictive, but ultimately empty calories compared to the full-course meal provided by its competition. Hype serves as a metric of its own, because Solo Leveling had an army rather than just viewers. The anime crashed Crunchyroll servers when it premiered, as the sheer momentum of the manhwa fanbase created a tidal wave that other prestigious series struggled to surf. A single word became a global trend when Arise took over social media. Frieren made people cry, while Solo Leveling made them scream at their screens in excitement. The average voter often finds that adrenaline rush more memorable than a slow burn philosophical journey. The loudest excitement often drowns out the deepest appreciation in a democratic vote. Staying updated on anime news and industry analysis requires subscribing and enabling notifications. The analysis continues with the real controversy regarding the voting mechanics. The voting system itself represents the most controversial part of the event. Many fans assumed this was purely a popularity contest, resulting from millions of fanboys spamming votes, but that is technically impossible. Crunchyroll uses a weighted system where 70% of the final score comes from a panel of judges, while only 30% comes from fan votes. This safeguard was designed to prevent the most popular show from automatically beating the best written one. Solo Leveling winning by a landslide means the judges, consisting of critics and industry experts, voted for it too. This revelation infuriated the hardcore community because the experts supposed to champion subtlety chose spectacle instead. Recency bias acts as a major psychological trigger in this situation. The voting for the 2025 awards took place in January 2025, right when the second season of Solo Leveling had just started airing. Frieren had finished its run months prior, but Sung Jin-woo was back on screen and dominating the weekly conversation while voters filled out their ballots. The excitement for the new season bled into the voting for the old one. Annual awards often suffer from the flaw where the freshest show feels like the best one. Frieren felt like a fond memory, while Solo Leveling felt like a current event. Japan offers proof that this result was a specific cultural phenomenon because their major awards told a completely different story. Solo Leveling failed to win the Newtype Anime Awards, which are heavily influenced by dedicated Japanese otaku. The top prize went to Makeen, Too Many Losing Heroines instead. A romantic comedy about rejection and high school drama beat out the Shadow Monarch. The trope is less fresh in Japan, where the manga and light novel markets are saturated with leveling stories. They favored character dynamics and wit over raw power. The Crunchyroll Awards represent a global, Western-leaning taste that prioritizes action and animation fidelity above all else. The split vote effect is another theory circulating among analysts. The year 2024 contained high-quality artistic shows like Dandadan, which merged horror and sci-fi with incredible style. Frieren was a high fantasy masterpiece, and Apothecary Diaries was a historical drama. The quality vote likely split three ways, as fans of high art anime divided between these three titans and diluted their collective power. The action vote remained unified because Solo Leveling had no direct competitor in the pure power fantasy lane. Demon Slayer was off-season, and Jujutsu Kaisen had wrapped up earlier. Sung Jin-woo stood alone in his category and gathered every single vote from the action-hungry demographic, while the critics fought among themselves. The criticism that Solo Leveling consists of only fights ignores the storytelling found in animation. A1 Pictures improved the manhwa adaptation rather than just copying it. The animation of the shadows and the sound design of the dungeon gates, along with the kinetic energy of the Igris fight, all constitute storytelling. Visual excellence serves as a valid standard for best anime in a visual medium. The visceral experience of watching Jin-woo fight impacted many voters more than any dialogue scene in other shows. Viewers often separate animation and writing as if they are enemies, even though motion is character in anime. Jin-woo's brutality in motion told the audience everything they needed to know about his change. The homework factor represents a darker reason for Frieren's loss. Frieren was universally praised as a masterpiece, but it was also slow and required patience. Watching Frieren felt like eating vegetables to a generation of fans accustomed to short clips and fast-paced shonen, because it was healthy rather than crave-worthy entertainment. People respected Frieren, but they loved Solo Leveling when casting their ballots. Respect gets good reviews, while love gets votes. The fatigue of hearing that a show is a mandatory masterpiece can turn voters away and push them toward the show that lets them relax and enjoy the ride. This win indicates that the ERA of the manga monopoly is cracking. Japanese manga adaptations have almost exclusively won Anime of the Year for decades. Solo Leveling is a Korean webtoon, and its victory at the biggest Western Anime Awards validates the Korean content pipeline significantly. This proves that a webtoon adaptation can compete with the titans of Shonen Jump and win. The industry is recognizing a large library of Korean stories rather than just focusing on Jinwoo. The gate has opened, and traditional anime purists might feel threatened by this shift in source material dominance. The Apothecary Diaries suffered a quiet loss, while Frieren fans were vocal. This show excelled in tension without superpowers, as Mao Mao solved problems with chemistry and street smarts instead of magic daggers. This series would have been a top contender in almost any other year. Its loss highlights a flaw in the Anime of the Year category, regarding the difficulty of comparing a palace mystery drama to a supernatural action thriller. Comparing Sherlock Holmes to the Avengers is difficult because they aim for completely different targets. Lumping them together inevitably favors the genre with the widest mass appeal, which is almost always action. This controversy forces a reevaluation of the definition of Anime of the Year. The title could refer to the show with the best writing or direction, or it could mean the show that defined the year. Frieren should have won if the award recognized the best writing. Solo Leveling was objectively the correct choice if the award recognized the anime that captured the global trends and dominated conversations. The Crunchyroll Awards function more like a popularity contest than a critical evaluation. They measure impact rather than just quality, and nothing had more impact in 2024 than the Shadow Monarch. The aftermath of this sweep will change how campaigns run, because studios now know that engaging the casual fanbase is more valuable than winning over critics. High-budget, action-heavy adaptations of popular webtoons will likely be fast-tracked in the future. The outcome has also motivated the community, as the outrage sparked renewed interest in Makina and Frieren. Fans are aggressively promoting these shows to ensure they are not forgotten. Controversy helps business, because the people who hated the result are still talking about the awards. That engagement is exactly what Crunchyroll wants. The anger made the awards relevant rather than destroying them. Determining if Solo Leveling deserved to win depends on the criteria used. The answer is negative for those who value subtle storytelling, as the loss felt like a robbery. The show earned its victory for those who value the ability of animation to excite millions of people across the globe. The 51 million votes represented the voices of a majority who simply wanted to see something something entertaining. The awards reflect a reality that critics often dislike admitting, where simple and well-executed fun beats complex art. The 2025 awards will be remembered for the division between popularity and prestige. Solo Leveling's victory proved that the definition of a masterpiece is shifting for the global audience. Anime has grown significantly, regardless of whether fans cheered for Jinwoo or Frieren. The conflicts on screen and in the comments are just beginning. Subscribe for more honest looks at the industry to follow future developments.